I think to myself of what animals have to go through, and I can't imagine that, these foods will not kill us. Hi guys and dolls, welcome to the channel. Today is going to be a short one. I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to bless your food, especially if you are on a non-vegan carnivorous diet, or if you're in a pescatarian diet. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to bless your food. So without further ado, welcome to the channel if you're new. I am your host, Lachichi member for popsaltnculture. If you like what you see, please do not forget to subscribe. So let's get on with it. I have here Nigerian food. I have starch. I made with egusi. I have octopus. I have vegetables, and I also have some chicken. It's been a tough day, you guys. Sorry, the lights are going to be going in and out, and yeah, it's like one of those really gloomy days where the light comes really hard and then it leaves. Anyways, I've been thinking about bringing this to you guys because sometimes I eat meat. I really don't buy meat except perhaps like on some weekends, so that I'm not on a full-on pescatarian or vegan diet, because sometimes that meat is good for I need some minerals that I don't take in forms of vitamins or from other sources, right? And when I get super deficient, I get extremely weak. And then if you watch the video here that I did on how to remineralize green teeth, you'll see why that happens to me sometimes. So yes, sometimes I definitely incorporate the meat of the land. I really would prefer the vegan diet, but for health reasons and for other reasons, because I don't have that discipline, because of course you can live a wonderful, full, very youthful, it's really one of the best diets, right? If not the best diet you can be on, if you are incredibly knowledgeable and you're taking everything you need to. But if you're not as disciplined, then of course you're going to incorporate other things into your diet. I've been thinking about the lives that we take to nourish us and the sacrifice of these animals and plants, unwilling, I'm sure, for the most part. And I think to myself, there's just so much pain and disease in the world. And I think to myself of what animals have to go through. And I can't imagine that these foods will not kill us, because that is the balance of the universe. The balance of the universe requires that everything balances itself out. So if you're incredibly cruel to animals and you treat them terribly, you pack them up, and this happens a lot, especially here in America, it's a real thing. You pack them up into a small place since they were born. They sit in their own feces. They're not allowed to roam around, especially like if you want the meat to be tender. They just stay there. They get stuck. They see you killing out, taking the life of other animals brutally. They see pain. They see suffering. It's horrible. It really is incredibly traumatic. And then what happens? All these chemicals in their bodies, when they're killed in fear and pain, we eat them. And the hormones also, and all that we inject into them, just because we want them to be fat, we want them to be all these things, and we ingest them and we die early, we get cancer and all that. And I think to myself, there must be a more halal way, as Muslims and Arabs will say, a more kosher way, as Jewish and Hebrew people would say. And to me, a better, more clean way, a way to balance out these energies before consuming any of this. And there also has to be a better way to treat these animals. In the same way, there has to be a good way in which you treat your plants. But plants are more like, they're not going to serve you if you don't treat them right. They're not going to grow right. They're just going to die, right? So with plants, it's different. You have to treat them right. They have to thrive. They have to thrive to bring life, right? So I think to myself, there are a lot of ancient rituals and even modern ones, with the Jews, with so many tribes, with a lot of African tribes as well. A lot of African nations. Let's not let colonialism not do it today. There are a lot of African nations as well that practice a form of balancing out these energies to make sure that we are whole and we are not, killing ourselves. And so therefore, the way animals are slaughtered are done in a way that doesn't cause them pain. The way animals are raised, range free, they can walk around, they can do, a lot of things around, they pet them, they treat them well, they feed them well, they try to make sure that, they're happy and growing well. And that is a cleaner way to take care of your animals because their well-being is important. And if you have to take life, it must be because it is necessary and it is for your sustenance. And in that case, there needs to be a ritual as well for that sacrifice, right? A thank you to these animals for this unwilling sacrifice and a begging of forgiveness. And I will not go so deep into it. That's another video that I would create. But for now, how do you bless this food? I'm going to take you through my own ritual. The way I do it is like so. I thank the earth. I thank Mother Earth, which in Odinani is Allah. I thank Allah. I thank her for sustenance. I thank her for life. I thank Nemiri for water. I thank her for feeding our plants. I thank Anyang for the sun, for the photosynthesis, for everything all combined, all the elements combined. I give thanks for what they have done to bring light, for their own contribution to bringing life. Then I thank the plants. I thank the animals. I bless them for their willing and unwilling sacrifice. I pray for their forgiveness because I understand that while I am not the person who took their life, I understand that me consuming them is a sacrifice that they have made, willing or unwilling, and mostly unwilling. And so I beg for their forgiveness for us having to consume them for sustenance. I thank them for their sacrifice, for their unwilling sacrifice, and for the sustenance that they are bringing in my life. I beg for their forgiveness. And I know that if I were to take this life myself, I will beg for their forgiveness. I will bless them, and I will do it in the cleanest, most pain-free way that I know. I will do it that way, in the cleanest way, so that their soul transitions in peace, and so that even while I consume the fruits that they have given to us, their bodies, that it will nourish me, and that the karmas would balance out. So that is my prayer. And I say, which is, it is so. In Igbo, Odinani, in Igbo, we say, it is so. And I say that prayer. And this is the quick prayer that I say. But what you can also do is, when you finish, right, in Odinani, you would take some food and you put it out in the land. Very little, you take small of the food that you've cooked. You take a little bit, go outside and you bury it just a little bit, under the earth. And you say thank you. But I have plants, so if I wanted to do that, I can do that too. It will be some form of compost, but it's giving back again to the earth and giving back to Allah, to the gods, to and all of that good stuff. You have a separate spiritual personal practice. Let me know what you do, how you bless your food. And as a tribe in general, we can all learn from each other and say better prayers and do better rituals when it comes to taking life and when it comes to consuming food, and better blessings and better prayers. So I'm sorry I'm all over the place. It's been an incredibly difficult day, incredibly hard day. I've been filming all day today, but it's not been easy. A lot of things have been happening and I don't want to cry. I'm overwhelmed. So I'm just going to eat and I'm just going to be thankful. I'm going to say my prayers and say my blessings and thank the plants, the animals that have given, that are giving me sustenance, and thank the gods that have made it possible, and thank Chuku, thank God for, for life and for this and for the lessons I'm supposed to learn from the difficulties of the day. Until next week, I'll be your host, Lachicha.